Tea scalding is a serious thing. Yuri's grip on me is still quite strong as we venture past our clubroom and further into the hallway. Once we've made it farther away from our club, she stops in her tracks, which causes me to.
Please, sit down and look at me.
I'm feeling a little apprehensive to show my face to her in the state that I'm in, but it would be dumb of me to refuse her help right now. Doing as she says, I slowly sit down with my back upright against the wall and pull my arm away from my face. She gets down on both knees and reaches into her bag, pulls out 2 tissues and hands them to me. After patting myself down to try to be more comfy, guilt then takes a hold of my feelings.
How are you feeling? Any better now?
I shake my head at her twice as my emotions begin to tremble again. Slowly bringing myself up onto my knees like she is, I lean forward and wrap my arms around her waist. Burying my head into her shoulder for the second time today surprisingly doesn't hurt at all. Her uniform ends up soaking up all my tears around my eyes. I'm sorry, Yuri. She wraps her arms around my back in return, starts rubbing my back, and speaks gently to me.
Oh, babe, it's okay. This happens sometimes.
No. I messed up everything.
Shh. You didn't mess up anything.
I'm sure our uniforms say otherwise. I pull away from her shoulder so I don't sound so muffled and look down to the ground. I ruined our reading time. I broke your stuff. And made everyone mad today. To my surprise, Yuri takes her right hand and gently takes a hold of my cheek, almost forcing eye contact between us two. I can't help but avert my eyes from her in my current state.
Hey, I'm not upset. We can always read another time. You're more important.
That's when I bring my hand up to meet hers that's on my face and close my eyes. My emotions start to calm down at not only her words, but also the never-ending gentleness she brings.
Don't worry about the cup either. I can always get another one.
Thanks. Do I look okay? I think her smile just grew a little bigger.
You're a little red, but it's nothing too bad.
Phew. Okay, good. An unusual silence plays out between us as she removes her hand from my face.
Tell you what, Hallie. Let's forget about the club today. Let's go to our spot by the lake tonight. Just the two of us, to take our mind off of this. We'll have the whole place to ourselves. Nobody there to bother us. Nothing that'll make me feel like your life is in danger.
I would love to. I mean, I would really like that.
Then it's settled.
But wait, what about Monika? We're leaving awfully early.
She's not important right now. If she had any sense of understanding, she'd let us leave early after what happened.
Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I shouldn't worry about her. A faint voice I think I know grabs my attention for a short while. That's not important right now, just like Yuri said.
Shall we get going now?
Yeah. Can we go to my house first this time? I don't want to walk alone.
Of course.
With me and Yuri getting up from the floor, she grabs her bag and my hand carefully meets hers. Not gonna lie, that was starting to hurt my knees a little bit, being on the floor for that long. Before we start walking, a familiar voice interrupts us.
Hey, is everything all right? 3:15 p.m. I was hoping something like this wouldn't happen in my club, of all places. This isn't the only time I've seen him react like this over something bad happening during my school years. Monika, is Hallie okay? What happened? Why was he crying like that? Well, Yuri, he got a face full of scalding hot tea. All he did was spill tea on himself. Why'd he act like a baby about it? Most people would clean themselves up, not fall to the ground. I was also hoping that they would have figured this out by now. All right, listen closely, you two. There's something about him you need to know. With that, the two of them step a bit closer and listen intently. Oh, that's what He kept on telling me he was different from everyone else. I get it now. Wow, I didn't know Yuri liked guys with massive head injuries. Natsuki, it's not like that. It's a neurological thing. Well, maybe his parents should have put mercury in his baby food. Or shouldn't. That's what that says. It's not like that either. He was born with it. Natsuki, that's not very nice. Not very nice? Both him and Yuri aren't being very nice. All he's been is nothing but problems here, and Yuri's been acting differently ever since he joined the club. If you hadn't brought him in that one day, then none of this would have been happening right now. Natsuki, come on. You know I've always wanted this club to grow before we graduate. Well, he could have had someone different join the club, or hell, even no one at all, and we would have been just fine. But no! We just had to have some stupid weirdo come in and ruin the feel of the club for all of us. Why don't you start thinking about how we feel for once, Monika? That irks me more than it should. Speak for yourself. You're the only ones that's bothered by it. Bullshit! Remember how he messed up your announcement yesterday? And have you seen how Yuri's acted ever since he joined? She doesn't talk to any of us anymore. She's worse than what she used to be. All she cares about now is spending time and reading little kid books with her precious little baby, and then becomes a demon towards us when anything bad happens to him. Natsuki angrily reaches into her bag and pulls out a light purple book. All I wanted was to spend some time with her because she's my friend. Reading by myself was getting lonely. You two won't check up on me anymore because you're both busy doing Lord knows what, and I haven't spent time with Yuri in a while. Now I could find this book for her. She then starts walking towards the club door. I'm leaving, and you can't do anything about it. I don't want to see any of you right now. She throws the book she had in the trash before leaving and forcefully closing the door. Yuri then walks up to me and hugs me. Monika, that was scary. It takes me a while, but I eventually end up hugging her back. I honestly can't remember the last time I hugged someone like this in school. It's okay, Sayori. Try not to feel bad because of her. None of this is your fault. She breaks away from me after a little while. I haven't been a very good vice president, though. What do you mean? I feel like I really haven't done anything lately. And I shouldn't have yelled at Natsuki yesterday. Well, I'll agree with you on that one. I feel like I should be doing I feel like I should do something about this. Like what? Oh no, what's she thinking of this time? Oh, I know! What if we were to have a group activity on Monday? Something that all of us can participate in. I like that idea. Tell me more about it over the weekend. Sure thing! Walking away from Sayori and towards the door, my eyes land on the broken teacup that's on the ground. I'll take care of that later on. All right, where could those two be? A familiar voice distracts me from looking around. Can we go to my house first this time? Wait, that sounds like Hallie. Turning around on my heel, I start walking towards where I heard those voice. It doesn't take too long to approach the two of them. Hey, is everything all right? Everything's fine now, Monika. We don't need your help. With that, she turns around for me, Hallie following suit. Come on, Hallie. Let's go to your place. As the two of them walk away from me and towards the stairs, Hallie turns his head to look at me while walking. The face he's making. I'm not sure whether he's silently trying to say help me or I'm sorry. This is probably the first time I've heard Yuri be so direct with me. That isn't like the gentle side of her I usually think of. I hate to admit it, but Natsuki might be onto something. 3:30 p.m. I stop just outside of the door to take a few deep breaths. I need to shake this angry feeling away somehow. I'm leaving early, though, whether Monika likes it or not. I think. We can always read another time. You're more important. That somewhat muffled voice makes me stop walking. After figuring out who I just heard, anger from earlier fires up again. Ugh! Those two are so gross! Walking away from where I heard those two, I figured it wouldn't kill me to take a different way home. I could use the fresh air anyways. Maybe that'll cool me down. An unexpected voice manages to ring through the hallway I'm in.
It was so hardcore I could punch you in the dick, said someone.
Oh my god, that sounds just like... What's he doing here? Curiosity taking over, I continue walking even further away from Yuri until the sounds of laughter from others blend in with my footsteps. Once I'm up close, my suspicions from earlier were right. Goruto, the guy that's been hanging around me recently, is hanging out with Jason, Wallace, and Kyle.
Okay, I was mistaken. This Wallace is the yellow-eyed Wallace. So you aren't a trio of red-eyed MCs. But I kind of feel like this is a missed opportunity.
Jason looks like he's trying to recover from laughter, Wallace is oddly silent, and Kyle looks more serious. Quite the motley crew we got going on, if you ask me. While I'm trying to figure out what he's doing here with these losers, the four of them go silent for a bit.
Hey, girl, how's it going? You know what I'm saying.
Why does he feel the need to call me that? It's not like I like him that way.
Hey, wait. You're that one girl from the literature club that this goofball always talks about.
Unfortunately so.
Hey, what's the matter? You aren't looking so hot.
I feel almost reluctant to talk about this in front of them. I was hoping none of them would catch on so quickly. That Hallie person in my club has been making my life worse for me. I've just about had it with him. All four of them look at me like they weren't expecting something.
So, he's done messed you up too, huh? Him and his bitch of a girlfriend.
The hallway becomes unusually silent at this more serious tone. He's not wrong, though. What does he mean by messed up?
Hey, Pinky, you're good with words, right?
I suspiciously cross my arms at him. Yeah. Why do you care?
Want to help us out with something? This can only end badly. 6:58 p.m. 3 hours have passed since Yuri walked me back to my place. The atmosphere around us after we left school grounds was much more calm in a pleasant way. Probably due to Yuri being strong and supportive in my time of need. It was exactly what I needed after the day we both had. She just has this way of making things better. Other than that, we both decided that it would be best for both of us to clean up and get something to eat before we're supposed to meet up tonight. After what feels like a while, I finally made it to the park. It's nice and calm as it usually is around here, trees lightly moving with the wind and the sounds of insects chirping in the distance. Just being around here again brings about excitement from previous visits here. But I can't find Yuri anywhere. Wasn't I supposed to meet her here? Pulling my phone out of my jacket and flipping it open shows it's 7:03 p.m. Well, I mean, I probably could have got...
She's playing the harp.
Ah, now that's a sound I haven't heard in a while. The ever so familiar sounds of her harp makes itself known by where the park meets the forest. This is just like when we first met here. With a comforting, warm feeling washing over me, I can't help but make my way over to where my princess is. Excitement continues to build as I traverse the nearly nostalgic path. I have to tell myself to not start running to her due to how I'm feeling. I wonder how long she'll play for anyways. Just like the last time this happened, my walking slows down a bit until I quietly approach our spot. Ah, this place looks as perfect as always, and Yuri, who's looking over the water, is no exception. Her hair dancing around with the wind, a genuine look of contentment as she plays. That's my princess. Standing still for a moment to take in the atmosphere, the cool wind feels great as I take a deep breath. Slowly making my way over to the fallen down tree, I take a seat next to her and wait for her to notice me. Once she opens her eyes and notices me next to her, she doesn't jump away like the first time we met here. Instead, her smile grows and she gently sets her harp on the ground next to her bag.
I've been waiting for you, Hallie.
A hand goes to the back of my head. Yeah, sorry if I'm a bit late.
No, you're fine. I haven't been waiting long.
Scooching a little closer to her, I take her hand in mine and smile at her, to which she does the same. Her always cute smile makes the atmosphere a bit more comfortable. An unusual smell invades my nose not long after getting close to her. Is she wearing perfume? Silently inhaling so she doesn't suspect anything, it almost smells like lilac flowers that my mom really liked. An unexpected tingling in my nose forces me to exhale and move an inch or so away from her, as I don't want to sneeze around her. Looking away from her and out into the open water, my mind starts wandering for a little bit as I don't say anything. It feels really nice to just be quiet, take a deep breath, and take in the atmosphere around me. The tranquil sounds of everything around us helps elicit a meditative state inside me. This state, however, is broken after a short while, as Yuri squeezes my hand harder and speaks up.
Hey, you feeling any better? Does anything hurt?
I don't know why, but I give my face a quick one-handed pat down just to confirm I'm alright. I'm much better now. I guess being out here helps too.
Well, good.
I'm also pretty happy that you thought of us coming here. I kinda needed that after today. A few butterflies playfully dance around her face as her smile stays as strong as always. I'll be honest though, I still feel a little bad that we didn't get to read it all today. Her grip on me tightens yet again.
Don't worry about it, dear. We can read when we get back to one of our places tonight.
But your bag is right there. Couldn't we read right now if we wanted? Actually, that's not a bad idea. I should mention that. What if we were to read out here? I mean, we don't have to right now, but, you know. Yuri giggles at me over my word mishaps.
I know what you mean. Maybe we will someday.
I love that she knows how to make me smile. Yeah, that'd be pretty neat. A comfortable silence washes over us as the possible scenarios of future plans play out in my mind. It's a little exciting thinking about what's in store for the future. Looking over to Yuri shows her smile isn't as strong as it used to be. What could be causing that?
Hey, Hallie. There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh? What's going on?
Well, it's just a few days ago when you had to deal with Jason. What was going through your mind as everything happened? I didn't expect you to be the kind of person to resort to such actions.
Well, I guess I'd better be honest with her. Yeah, about that. I'm sorry if I scared you at all that day. What was running through my mind, though? I take a moment to think back on the events of that day, stare at the grass below me, and also to get some fresh air. More fresh air. Well, I could have gone and got the principal, but that probably would have taken too long, and Lord only knows what he would have done, or he would have to say about everything. Words. Something about what I did just felt right. Usually I don't like that kind of stuff. It scares me when I see people fight like that. But like I just said, it felt like the right thing to do. You were in danger, so I had to save you at all costs. Her blush increases, but mine doesn't. I still have this serious feeling taking over me. Besides, I don't want to imagine what kind of mess we would have gotten ourselves into had the principal start questioning about. That's when I slowly break my hand away from hers.
About what?
Taking my now free hand, I gently wrap my hand around her upper left arm. About this.
Oh.
All words evade us for a short while, as flashbacks from that day continue to run through my mind. Yuri, how's your arm feeling, by the way? I think the tranquil feeling from earlier is slowly going away, as she looks a little more concerned. Without a word, she grabs the left sleeve of her sweater and pulls it up. Taking a look at her arm for a second time doesn't bring the initial shock from a few days ago. Panic strikes for an instant, however, at the sight of her bandages removed, but 2 and 2 comes together at the thought that she will need new ones. I see. It's starting to look a little better. Would you like for me to put new band-aids on when we get back to your place? Her eyes light up a little bit, but she doesn't immediately respond. After a while, a small smile manages to break through.
I would really like that.
Good. That's when I take off my jacket and lay it on the grass beside me to reveal only my t-shirt and exposed arms. It's not too cold out, so I don't mind. The breeze feels kinda nice. With her arms still exposed, my hand carefully takes hers again. This feels a little crazy, both our arms sharing the warmth between us. I'm sure my face is as red as hers, but these butterflies don't last for long as something important comes to mind. I really wish I could help more.
Hey, you've been a big enough help so far. Just always being there for me, letting me come over last night when I needed it most.
No, I mean, I wish I knew what kind of force draws you to do this.
I can't explain it. Some days I'll be just fine and these weird urges to do that just don't show up. Other days they show up out of nowhere, even when nothing wrong has happened. There are times when I'm able to fight them off with my willpower alone. But sometimes, when life feels like too much, the pain it brings calms my mind down somehow.
An unusually long silence plays out as I try to process everything she just told me. It feels like my mind is racing so fast I can barely keep up. The same image of a tearful Yuri with a knife to her arm from a few days ago creeps into my mind, which keeps me in place. Yuri's tone of voice takes a more sad approach.
Hallie, why didn't you leave me when you found out about this? Why do you still want to be around me? Anybody else would have pushed me aside and let me be for all eternity.
Stop it!
What?
Okay, maybe I should tone it down a bit. Please don't say that. I am not anybody else. Sure, I may be different from everyone. I may not seem normal at all, and hell, there's something actually wrong with me. But I know better than to let treasure slip through my hands like that. Another smile shows up on her face due to my choice words, but I'm not done yet. Why didn't I leave when I found out? I guess you could say I'm learning from my big brother's mistakes.
Come again?
Yeah, this whole situation reminds me of what happened to my big brother. I feel like you deserve to know what happened. She's silently staring at me as if she's ready for story time.